Okay, so I'm here to sort of do a comparison between the original iPhone and iPhone 3G. This is the first generation iPhone, this is the second generation iPhone, and over here would be the third generation iPhone 3GS. So let's start off here. This iPhone original is basically a collection iPhone now. It is, this is a replacement one. Both of these iPhones are actually refurbished, they've been replaced once. This had a serial number starting with 5K, and so does this. This still is in its original packaging, and it doesn't have service, so we can't do any speed comparison tests. And this iPhone has an invisible shield on it, and no, we can't do a comparison test. Both have no service, as this iPhone is no longer a primary used phone. And let's first take a look that you'll notice between the box if you upgrade. They both, except this one has a cool shine line, as you can see. This is the 8GB original, which originally sold for $5.99, and this is the 16GB iPhone 3G. As you can see, 16 gigabytes, and they both are locked to AT&T's network, which is rather unfortunate. So the boxes are a bit thinner. This one is thinner, obviously. Let's take a look. When we open up this box, and we open up this box, they're both in their cool tray, clear plastic tray. Well, this is clear plastic and this is hard plastic. Remove the iPhone, you have a shiny plastic back. Might not be perfectly shiny because of the invisible shield. And you have a nice anodized aluminum back here. Sort of makes it look like the MacBook Pro. These have known to have issues. For example, this current iPhone 3G that I have here has a nice crack. You can't see it with this crummy camera, but it's a hairline crack right about where my thumb is. Has a few cracks where the SIM card is, and aluminum unfortunately doesn't crack, it dents. So, those are the iPhones themselves. They both have a 2-megapixel camera, however the lens on this is slightly bigger than the lenses on that. The 3GS has a 3-megapixel autofocus camera. The home button on this is squishy, the home button on this is clicky, and so that's pretty cool. We'll get to those in a bit. They both have these cool pull-up things when you pull them up. What? Here's the clear tray, cool clear. And here is the hard, black one. They both have these envelopes, which have souvenirs in them, like cleaning cloth, manuals, and a SIM removal tool, which you can remove the SIM card with. Except this actually came with a 3G, but... And then, when you look in here, you have this power adapter, which is a small one, USB. The other ones were like the MagSafe one, but it did have a movable prong, so when you were traveling internationally, that was a nice, big advantage. So that's pretty cool. So, that's the USB power adapter. You would, let me put that back, you would then have the USB cable and the earbuds, and the earbuds have, on them a little clicker, which allows you to pause and play your music. If you double click twice, it goes to the next song. If you triple click, it goes back to the previous song. These are the $80 in-ear headphones, which have volume controls. However, the volume controls only work on the current generation of iPods, Nano 4G, Shuffle 3G, and Touch 2G, and Classic 120GB models. And the 3GS also supports those as well. In here, we have a few cool things. This is the original iPhone, by the way. It has the power adapter would be here, earphones right here, and then underneath here you would have the USB cable, and here's the dock. The dock for the 3G is $30 versus included for free with the original. So the original iPhone is sort of why it takes up more packaging. So, that's pretty cool. The SIM removal tool. You can use a paper clip if you want, but what you do is you basically insert it into that little hole right there, and you push it down. This works on the original and 3G obviously. See the hole right there. So we can insert it, and when you insert it, where is that little, it pops out, and then it'll say now SIM card installed, and there's your AT&T SIM card, which you can put in your Razr phone or whatever. And on the 3G model, you can actually insert another active AT&T SIM card and it'll work, but on this original, it needs to authenticate for some stupid reason. So, now let's take a look at the differences, hardware differences. Well, actually, let me tell you about software. Both of these devices are running 3.0.1. The .1 has the fix for the SMS vulnerability or something. But hardware differences, the first thing you'll notice is on the top of these phones, this is a plastic sleep-wake button, and this is a metal sleep-wake button. And also, this is a recessed headphone jack, and the recessed headphone jack will only allow headphones like these to fit in without an adapter. However, you will need an adapter for bigger sizes. For example, this doesn't fit in the recessed headphone jack, but it does fit well into the headphone jack on the 3G model. That's pretty cool. Those are one of the differences that are probably one of the coolest ones on hardware. And then on the side, you have a silent ringer switch and volume rocker in plastic. On this side, you have a metal volume rocker and a silent ringer switch. On the bottom, both have the 30-pin connector. You have the speaker on both of these. On the right here and right here are speakers, 30-pin dock connector, and microphones. The 3G, which is on top, has dramatically improved audio, and the earpiece is also improved. When you look on the earpiece, it has sort of like a metal grill. Here it doesn't, and on the bottom it's a metal grill, and here, no. So, that's just some of the hardware. Also, this has a tapered design, so it does feel better in your hand when you hold it. It does feel somewhat flimsy, but the buttons, at least right here, are clickable versus these squishy ones. But the home button right here is clickable, and here's squishy. Mr. Squishy, clickable. Squishy, clickable. So that's that. Now, one of the other things, when we're running the latest 3.0.1 software, well, let's go back a year ago, when 2.0 was available. In OS 2.0, the only difference between these two phones was on the right phone, the 3G, faster networking and GPS. Flush headphone jack. And, you know, the slightly different design. But that's really the only big difference. Non-recessed GPS and faster data downloads. Well, in 3.0, there have been some new features. So this has hardware for MMS. This also has hardware for tethering, and this also has hardware for stereo Bluetooth and peer-to-peer. Everything I said that this has, this does not. If you jailbreak this, you can get MMS and more. Apple has said that neither of these phones have the hardware for video recording. However, if you jailbreak and download and install Cycorder, you can. These both have the same processor, so in speed difference, you would only notice different speeds when browsing on 3G. The 3GS, however, has a faster processor than both of these. Both of these have their processors clocked at 412 megahertz and RAM at 128 megabytes. And both of these have that. However, on the 3GS, you have a 600 megahertz processor and 256 megabytes of RAM. So the storage doesn't make it any faster. This came in 4, 8, and 16 gigabyte models. This came in 8 and 16 gig models, and the 3GS came in 16 and 32. There's rumored to be an 8 gig model to replace the $99 8 gigabyte 3G, but we'll have to see if that's true. So that's sort of like a difference. Software I'd be able to show you on here. This one has locked versus this one, which isn't, but that's basically a look at these. They have voice memos and similar looking stuff. So, those are the main differences between the iPhone original, the original iPhone, also known as the 2G iPhone, and iPhone 3G. Thank you very much.